March 28th, 2022. From El Cajon, California, this is episode 254 of You Can Bet On That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet On That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and sitting across from me is Dr. Mike.
Hello.
Mike, not much of a March Madness tournament this year, huh? It's kind of disappointing in a lot of ways.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
As we're doing this afternoon, it's St. Peter's is playing again.
I know, something
I would
else.
just love if they won today. And
Yeah.
and they're playing a 10th seed.
I know. It's like,
they've beaten a 2 and a 3. I mean, what the heck? A 10th seed ought to be easy. It'd be great if they made the Final Four.
Oh my, it would be so exciting.
But the whole tournament's been good.
I was being sarcastic for those who maybe don't actually follow the tournament.
It's been a very exciting
just
tournament.
so good, especially that first 4 days.
And one's being upset.
Oh,
there's only one number one left.
Right.
And they could get eliminated today. There might be no number ones in the Final Four.
Yeah, it's something else.
In our Survivor pool, which, by the way, we won.
Oh, okay, very good. At all fairness, Mike picked all the teams.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with it.
And today, even though we've already won, I texted you last night and told you that I'm going to take Miami.
Today.
You're
taking Miami.
Yeah, and an upset win.
Okay, very good.
Over Kansas.
So
we'll see if that happens, but it'd just be fun if no number ones were in the final.
Yeah, that's always exciting.
I just like to stick it to all the experts.
Well, there were plenty of seasons where it really was like 1-1-1-2. Sometimes it does happen that way.
Yeah, sometimes it does. I don't know if there's ever been an all number one.
That's a good question. In the history of the tournament, it's possible, but
But I do remember
since we've been
3
alive.
with like 3 ones and a 2 in the finals. Yeah,
I think that too. Well, we got an email from listener Tony with some advice on taking your spouse to Las Vegas.
What?
Should we go through these?
It doesn't seem right.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I didn't know that was allowed.
So let's go over what he is suggesting here. How to set up a trip to Vegas with a spouse for longer than the normal, no more than 72 hours rule of thumb. For me, I had the best Vegas trip ever with my wife in September 2021. We went for 5 days. The key was what I call an anchor activity for each day. One planned thing.
I thought he was calling his wife an anchor.
All right, I'm going to have to cut that out of the show.
I was going to be offended for a second.
And then he goes through the agenda that they set up for this trip. And he mentioned also these were surprises for his wife. So she knew there was an anchor event each day.
But she didn't know what it would be.
Didn't necessarily know what it was.
Yeah.
But I would say for some spouses, maybe you tell them. Right, because some don't like surprises. It depends.
Yeah, they might not want.
Depends on your spouse, folks.
Right.
So,
if your spouse didn't like a spa thing, some people don't like getting massages.
Oh yeah, massages.
They find it too personal.
It's a complete stranger. Who would like that? Is what I would say.
Everybody.
Okay, so day 1. Fly out in the morning and dinner and gaming with friends that night. So that works out. Yeah, if you've got people there.
That's good because the first day you do a little gambling and you have dinner. And
trying to get acclimated to depending on where you came from, maybe you have jet lag. Day 2, show that evening. Okay,
that's
very
always good
right?
because that's something to look forward to. Yeah. And if it's a nicer show, I don't know what that means, but if it's a nicer show, you get dressed or something.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying,
as opposed to like a T-shirt and shorts kind of show.
Okay. I'm laughing because I can't imagine you getting dressed up to go see a show in Vegas. You'd have a T-shirt and shorts no matter what the show is.
Well, I wouldn't go to see a show. I did with my wife and children.
Yeah, exactly. This is the whole point of this, Mike. All right? Follow along.
I'm getting it. I'm picking it up now.
All right. Day 3, spa day and massage. So there you go. If you like the couple massage thing,
we actually
that kind of
did
thing.
that once.
Okay.
Yeah. It was nice having a little tiny woman standing on my back. She literally was.
Was it the masseuse? I hope.
Yeah. It was the receptionist.
Right.
Yeah, Lynn looked over and she's like, "Oh my God, she's standing on your back." I mean, the lady probably weighed 85 pounds, but still, it was weird.
Probably not something you'd go for today. Somebody standing on your back.
No.
Okay. Right.
No.
Day 4, pool day and nice dinner.
That's
so
good.
There you go, lounging
all
by
day
the
at the
pool.
pool.
Right. And then day 5, pack up and head home. Since we had these anchor activities, we would head out and eat and just stroll most mornings. And then, while my wife would chill a little, take a nap/read, I would shoot craps for a few hours. If she got the itch to get going, she came to me. If I hit a loss or win limit, I headed back to her. Since we always had the anchor, we would plan our day accordingly and have that to look forward to together. So I think pretty good
That was
advice.
good. Yeah, I've done pretty much the same thing, but usually what's happening is I'm at the craps table and my wife and daughters are like shopping.
Yeah, right.
They go in the mall for a few hours
Yeah.
and then we all meet up and have lunch and then maybe they rest until dinner time. Then we have dinner, stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
or you could take your wife and just have breakfast and then stay at the craps table until bedtime.
Right.
Get a snack on the way up to the room and then go to sleep.
Yeah. And then does she just come by every once in a while to see how you're doing, or is she playing with you?
No, she plays.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
the other option. You go through a lot of money that way.
Well, thanks for sending that in, Tony. We also got an email from Dr. Brendan. We have been emailing back and forth about the inconsistency with ratings at table games, specifically craps.
Right.
He was trying to make heads or tails out of it, and like I responded, it's voodoo. Sometimes you get a great rating,
right.
sometimes you don't.
Exactly.
Depends on the pit. It really matters. But in this case, we were talking about multipliers and how he had been going to a casino where supposedly you can earn up to 100 times multiplier.
Yeah.
Right? It's one of those
They always say that.
the random things where
and
how are you?
it's probably not random. It's probably
it's not completely random. No,
not completely random. It's probably a high roller can get 100 times, and a new player who's never played there before probably gets 2 times,
maybe
something like that.
We were talking about how we've never seen anyone get 100 times multiplier.
No. I've never got that.
No, but he sent us an email and said, "What would you do? What games would you play if you did have the 100 times multiplier?" And we're talking about, like on Caesar's reward credits, we're talking about the credits that you can actually spend on things, not tier credits.
Not tier credits,
right?
yeah.
But if you had 100 times multiplier, essentially every game would be positive EV, maybe.
Yeah.
And then Brendan goes on, I guess rip through some high-limit video poker would be the best option. What do you think, Dr. Mike?
You probably rack up the most points with video poker.
Maybe.
I mean, it goes quick.
Yeah, I don't want to throw reality into this situation, but generally when you get these multipliers,
Right.
they're less for video poker. It might say something like, you get 20 times multiplier for slots and table games, but then 10 times multiplier for video poker.
Right.
So let's just pretend that that's not the case. It's 100 times multiplier.
Yeah.
That might be a good way to go because
video poker is safer,
and you're getting rated correctly in quotes, right? As opposed to
you don't
a
have to
table
worry
game,
about a
something
pit
like
boss
that.
rating you.
Yeah.
And then if you said, well, I don't want to play a machine, then I would just go play like I normally play craps, or if you're a blackjack player.
Do you think
blackjack.
you'd get a more consistent rating if you played something other than craps? Like blackjack or like baccarat,
blackjack
something
or
like
baccarat.
that?
Yeah, you might not on roulette because
that's
they
a
don't
hard
really watch that roulette table, and sometimes people bet differently. You know,
yeah. I guess video poker would be the way we'd go too if that's what we were really just trying to do.
If that's what you were trying to do, yeah. For me, I'd rather just go play the game I like.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever credits I get, I get.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing about video poker or slots
Yeah.
is that you can calculate exactly how much you're earning, how much the 100 times would be, and take the, if you're playing perfect basic strategy, what the return is. So.
Well, and the machine tells you too exactly what you've earned for the day.
Yeah.
So you don't have to wait till later and see how I got rated.
Yeah, that's true too.
Right, know as you're going.
Yeah. All right, so we're kind of in agreement here, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably the best way to go.
Yeah, I think so.
Don't ever expect to get 100 times, though.
No. This is all just fun.
Yeah.
What if I had $1 million? What would I play at the casino? Probably Keno.
Yeah.
Try to hit it big.
Yeah. Big time Keno.
Yeah.
High limit.
Yeah. Do you have Keno in the high limit lounge?
Yeah.
No, nobody does, sir.
You can sit in your room and bet all you want on the bed. If you...
Yeah, that's right. Your high limit lounge is your hotel room.
Yeah.
Next. Well, on a recent episode of the From the Hook Craps podcast, a relatively new podcast, just focused on craps, give it a listen. Host Tommy mentioned a terrible experience he had at Bally's Twin River in Lincoln, Rhode Island. Apparently, they suddenly, and without warning, implemented an open smoking policy. And it sounds like the ventilation is terrible there, and it's making for very unpleasant experiences for players and employees. And Robin Aubin from Anytime Gambling also contacted us about that, the smoking coming to Rhode Island and what we kind of thought about smoking in casinos and that kind of thing.
Well, it's probably one of those casinos with a short roof, right? Not
that could be
big,
too,
wide open,
right,
so the smoke just settles all over you.
Yeah. So, we've talked about smoking in casinos before, but not to any great extent. What is your feeling about smoking in casinos?
Well, I don't smoke.
No, neither do I.
And I never have.
Right.
So, I mean, if they got rid of smoking completely in casinos, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
But I do understand that there are people who smoke.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the culture,
yeah,
too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I think they do. Like at Rincon, they have no smoking on the craps tables.
There are certain, now, non-smoking at a craps table. It's not like you can't smell smoke in the air, but at least somebody's not right next to you.
They're right next to you, and they're not blowing smoke right into your face.
Right,
now, you still come out of there smelling like smoke.
Oh,
when
yeah,
you
do, absolutely.
So, you're getting secondhand smoke. But that's an Indian casino, too.
Right, that's
so
true.
No matter what the law was, they could get around it if there was a law like no smoking indoors.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have mixed feelings on that. I'd prefer if they all went non-smoking or had a smoking area, maybe.
Yeah. Well, at least some casinos are going non-smoking now, like Park MGM in Las Vegas.
Right.
And ventilation's an important thing. I remember when Sherry and I went to Circa, we walked in, and the first thing she said is, "Oh my gosh, I don't smell smoke."
Yeah.
Right? Because they've got those, vents that are kind of pushing air up. Now, the casino had only been open a couple months, but the casino had already been open for 2 months, right?
Yeah,
you could argue both ways. It's like people are smoking constantly. So it really depends on, if you're set up for that kind of a thing.
Well, I would think, number one, casinos would want to have good ventilation or want to have no smoking policy because their equipment would last longer. Things wouldn't be as ruined by the smoke.
Yeah.
People would stay in there longer with fresh air, if you had good ventilation and stuff. Non-smokers would be like, oh, this is great. So, I mean, that's a selling point for a casino.
Yeah.
But some of the older ones putting in new ventilation's like impossible.
Yeah, and this story that Tommy told, it must have been really rough on employees. Because, if you don't like the smoke and you have other options, you can go to a different casino. But if you're already working there, and this has been a topic that has been in the news forever, right? People who work in bars or, casinos, that kind of a thing, and the secondhand smoke.
Well, bars, though, bars, no matter where you are, even in a small town, there's usually several bars.
Yeah.
So you could go somewhere else if it really bothered you in that place. But if you're a casino worker in a place like in Rhode Island where maybe the next casino is like way too far for you to drive to, then you have no choice but to put up with the smoke.
Yeah.
And if you really bothered you, maybe you have to change professions. I don't.
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
It's a no-win situation, really, for most people.
Yeah. One nice thing for poker players is that most poker rooms are smoke-free.
Yeah.
Because, especially in like a tournament environment, you can't pick who you're sitting next to or who's at your table. So,
right.
that
you can't get up and move. The one thing they have banned in everywhere that I know of is cigars.
Yeah, that's a different thing too. Pipes, cigars, that kind of thing.
In the old day, you used to see a lot of, some young guy would come in with his buddies and there'd be 6 of them and they thought it was great to, smoke this old stinky stogie because they couldn't afford good stuff. So they're smoking, these quarter cigars and it just reeked. I mean, now they ban that completely.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens as we kind of move towards a non-smoking culture. But right now, certainly the casino culture, that's a big part of it. And so I'm with you, Mike. I kind of have mixed feelings. I know, people want to...
Well, it's like alcohol, too. I mean, there could be somebody who says, why don't they get rid of alcohol on the tables? Because people get drunk and they make scenes and there's problems.
Yeah,
I mean, you could argue that and, and then other people say, oh, well, that takes all the fun out of it. Well, for a smoker... it's the same thing, right? They might take all the fun. Like I can't spend 6 hours in the casino and not smoke. These people who smoke all the time. So it's difficult. I just wish they'd ban moaning.
Yeah, they're just the
moaning.
dice.
Yeah, the moaning gets to me.
Yeah, they should do that. I'll say something up next time we're here in Southern California.
Is this a no moaning table?
Where's
the
I'm sorry.
sign?
You can moan if you want. Oh. All right, and we got another email from listener Eric. He had a trip planned for the Horseshoe in Tunica. And let me read his story here. Unfortunately, a snowstorm, in quotes, ruined our plans. It's Mississippi, so a couple inches of snow will have people emptying the shelves at the grocery store. The Horseshoe canceled our reservation the morning of the trip. I received no phone call about the cancellation, but thankfully I checked my email before we left. The email stated they were unable to accommodate my reservation due to the recent snowstorm. I called, and the lady said they were open and all the roads were clear, but they could not take new reservations coming in that day because they had to look out for the safety of the customers. I think the customers should make their own decisions, but that's just my opinion. We were very angry, and I'll think twice about staying there in the future. We tried to find another room in Tunica, but every casino was booked up.
Well, where was the snow?
I don't know.
I mean, was it in the room, in the casino? I mean, if it was snowing in the casino, that could be a problem, Mark.
It almost seems like we're not getting the whole story here, which we talked about. That maybe they're not being forthcoming. Oh, it's for the safety of...
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the motivation is.
What was the safety issue?
But why cancel a reservation? I mean, what do they gain from that?
If the roads are open,
yeah.
What's the safety issue?
And what does the casino gain from canceling the reservation? Okay, if the people don't show...
Yeah, if they didn't want to get out in the snow or something.
Yeah. Is it that, maybe if we cancel some of these reservations... we'll have rooms open up now for locals. I'm trying to wrap my head around this, what the motivation is and why they would do this, why they would do it the day of, not contact Eric if they had his phone number.
A lot of people don't look at their emails until they go to bed at night.
I sometimes go like 2 days without looking at my email, right?
Because it's usually, if it's real important, you'll get a call or a text.
Yeah.
Why not text them? When you first told me this, I thought there's got to be something we don't know.
Yeah, something we don't know, something Eric doesn't know because the casino wouldn't tell him.
Right. There might have been something more going on. I can't see snow being a problem in Mississippi.
Well, and if the roads are clear.
Right.
Okay, and they're open. It's one thing if snowstorm, we're closing down. But
if the employees couldn't get there because there was some kind of road closure or something, I could understand that. But it sounds like the roads were open, so...
All that canceling the reservation does for the casino is open up a room. Right. And why did they need that? Why did they want that? Well, I hate to be pessimistic, but I just can't imagine that customer safety was the reason for canceling the reservation.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But in these sensitive times, Mark, maybe... Eric should have taken an opportunity to sell, water outside the casino for like $5 a bottle or something.
Where's this coming from? I don't follow your logic here. What is this?
In these disaster times, there's always somebody trying to make a buck.
I see what you're saying, because the snowstorm was so bad.
The snowstorm was so bad.
Maybe bump up the price of water bottles and stand up there. Yeah. Eric.
That had to pay for your trip.
Yeah. Follow Dr. Mike's advice at your own risk. I apologize on half of the you commit on that podcast.
Well, you know how it is when there's a huge disaster like snow in Mississippi.
Yeah. Well, it's, how often do we get snow? We're never going to get snow here again.
No, probably not in our life.
Yeah. Well, listener Tara, good friend of the show Tara, pointed us to a segment on a new show called Welcome to Flatch. This was in episode 4. Where a father is giving advice to his adult daughter. And the father is kind of a loser, right? And really doesn't know what he's talking about. But for whatever reason, this adult daughter just idolizes him.
Yeah,
right?
It's her father.
Hangs on to his every word. So in this segment, it's kind of a quick cuts to him giving different little pieces of advice.
Right.
And eventually he mentions craps. He says, here's what the casinos don't want you to know. You can count dice. Throw them straight, it's always a 7. Throw them to the side, it's an 8 or 11. Never a 6. Write that down. And she's just in awe. Okay, right.
We're going to have to try that.
Yeah, that's the extent of the scene. There's really no more to go along with that. But thanks to Tara for sending that in. The episode's available right now on Hulu, and it will air on Fox on Thursday, April 7th.
So I got a true father-daughter story for you.
Oh, God. Please.
Since I have two of them.
Same situation here where they're in awe of you and you're just telling them.
I'm just
actually, that's not true. I've seen them. They don't think a word you say is true. They just want you to shut up.
That's very much true.
All right. What's your story?
But the other day, my daughter was talking about getting accepted to colleges.
Oh, yeah.
She's, applying to colleges. And the one school that accepted her, there were 150,000 applicants. That's what they said.
Wow.
And so she was saying, 150,000 applicants, and they don't interview people. It's just whatever you wrote in your
it's like an essay and stuff.
Essay.
Yeah.
So how do they limit that down to accepting like a couple 2,000 out of 150,000? Right. And I was telling her, it's voodoo. It's just like getting raided in a casino. And she knows I've complained about that before. Yeah. I said, there's no way to figure that out. Don't let your mind go crazy trying to figure out how that happened.
Right. Don't beat yourself up.
Because there's a person sitting at a desk with a stack of, maybe 5,000, and another person has 5,000, all these people, and they're just pulling, let's take this one,
Yeah.
and it's just like craps. It's like everything else in life. You can't figure it out. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just the way it is.
Okay. So that was your advice to your daughter is don't try to figure anything out in life.
No.
It's all,
just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Just go with the flow. You got in there, great. You didn't get in there, don't get upset about it because who knows?
Okay.
Move on.
Again, I'm not sure this is great advice. Take Dr. Mike's advice.
Well, it is the way the world goes. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. We're pessimistic about that. Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. All right, let's move on to our voicemails. First up is Keith.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Keith calling from New Hampshire. Hope all is well with you guys. Just want to give you guys a trip report coming back from Las Vegas. I went to the Ellis Island. Definitely a rollover myself. And they've got $5 tables there, 10 times odds. So great for all the low rollers out there. Basically went over to Casino Quest to do some dice throwing and some practice throws with David over at Casino Quest. I'm sure you've talked about them before. Showed me the triple luck system and went over to Ellis and got a hot roll and cashed out for about $500 in about 20 minutes. So fantastic experience. Had a great time. Stayed at Planet Hollywood. Tables there were all $25 and $50, and that's just above my limit, what I can do. Ellis Island was the place to be. So for all you low rollers, $5, 10 times odds. You can have a great time. Food is pretty decent over there. Deal is very friendly. Players very friendly. Love the show. Give you guys a call back on my future trips. Take care.
Yeah, Ellis Island is sort of the jewel for low rollers on the strip, or strip adjacent, right? You just got to walk a little ways from Bally's. Horseshoe. It's coming up here. They're changing the name.
Yeah.
But good advice. And he's talking about Casino Quest and the Triple Luck system. Triple Luck system is basically a real aggressive place bet system where when the number hits the first time, you actually give the dealer a little more money to do kind of a mega press.
Right.
And then the next time it hits, you press it again, and then you start collecting. So that's where the triple comes from, three different. You could do a search on Casino Quest and Triple Lux, Lux, Triple Lux, you can find more about
if you hit a big roll, it's great.
Yeah, right.
And if you don't, you're not doing so well.
No, and that's what he's saying is basically, let's say you're at a $5 table, go 32 across, including the point and everything. And just assume you're going to lose $32 on each shooter, and maybe you catch a hand in there or something. It's like any other system in craps. There's no guarantees.
There's no guarantees.
But if that's the way you like to play. So
tying this into the previous email, what do you think about smoking at Ellis Island?
Yeah, that's a pretty tight location.
It's very tight.
Yeah.
The ceiling's not very high. It's usually packed.
Yeah, well,
with
when
people
we've been there,
like on a Saturday night or something.
I don't know. I mean, we could go through every single casino here and say,
I don't know that I ever, I haven't been there a ton of times, but I don't know that I ever thought of it as being really smoky in there.
We've been going to casinos for such a long time that when we go in,
You might be desensitized.
A place would really have to be smoky for us to notice, going in.
Yeah,
so,
we're kind of desensitized to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that probably wouldn't be a place for somebody who doesn't like smoke.
Well, any kind of thing with the low ceilings and, that kind
Older
of thing.
casino.
Older casinos.
Yeah, and packed,
like that.
full of people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
There are people just standing around.
Yeah.
Because like that craps table's right by the bar there.
Right.
So there's people like standing by their friend at the bar.
Yeah.
It's really tight.
Yeah, yeah. All right, next is our good friend Melanie.
Hey, Mark. Hey, Dr. Mike. It's Melanie from Colorado. Have a little trip report with Sergio. Viva Las Value. We went to Central City Blackhawk a couple weeks ago on a snowy Sunday. It was perfect. They have $5 blackjack, 3-2 blackjack up at Century Casino. It's actually in Central City. Just one table of $5, 2 of the 10. They took their craps table out, which is a total bummer. It was always fairly dead there, even though I think it was a $5 or $10 table. We did find out there's one Pie Gal game in town, $15 down at the Lodge, which is in Blackhawk. So anyone interested in that, if you're in Colorado, check it out. It is very cute towns. Very worth your while. Non-smoking casinos. We had a great time. We wandered down to Grandsy, also in Central City. I think we had a little bit of free play there, $10 maybe, 15. Anyway, I hit 4 aces with a 3 for a fancy $500 plus payday, and Sergio hit 4 fours with a 3, I believe, $200 payday. So anyway, left up money. We have wonderful sports betting here in Colorado. I think we have 26 books. I know Sergio would know better than I do, but cashed out everything at the end of Super Bowl after NFL season. I was up $400, took that $400, doubled it there in Central City, and had a blast with Sergio. We also qualified for a free meal. Really good restaurant there. Enjoyed that. So anyway, love the show. Love you guys. Wish I could have played in the poker game, but I had to work. I was so sad. But been working a lot, hoping to play soon. All right. Take care, guys. Keep up the great work.
All right. Thanks, Melanie. Yeah, so good reminder there. Colorado casinos, non-smoking.
Yeah, right.
And it sounds like they're really doing their sports wagering correctly, in Colorado. So
yeah, which is nice.
That's an option, yeah.
And it seems like there's quite a few casinos.
Yeah, just in those two towns. Right, yeah, exactly. You've got a lot of different choices.
You've got choices and you can sports bet. That's great.
Yeah.
What's wrong with California, Mark?
Oh, I could give you a list here, Mike. We'll see what... we were talking about it last night. The tribal casinos are now putting out some ads.
Right.
Kind of prepping people for the ballot in November. So the ads right now are not talking about specific propositions. They're basically coming on and saying, look, the government made a promise to our people, about gambling and that kind of thing. And then I think they may mention like FanDuel and DraftKings by name.
That they're
don't let them
those,
come in. Yeah,
those big conglomerates who are going to take your money. It should go to the Indian casino.
So they're kind of planting these ideas in people's brains right now in anticipation of what I imagine is going to be a big push when we get closer to November for the different initiatives that are going to be on the ballot for sports wagering.
I understand their position.
Yeah, sure.
But, for a sports bettor, it's really inconvenient to have to go to an Indian casino to make your bets.
Yeah.
On a Thursday when you have to work all day, if you want to make a bet on that night's basketball game, it'd be nice to be able to do it from your phone.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think once the law is put into effect, we're still going to be wagering offshore quite a bit.
Yeah.
Right? Because we can do it online. Yeah.
Right. Well, anyway. And what do you think the profit margin is for a casino on sports wagerings?
Oh, not much. Compared to the rest of
their stuff, I just don't see that it'd be that much.
Yeah.
And an Indian casino where you have to actually go, and if you're a serious sports bettor, you're not going on to Saturday night and making your bets for the whole week.
No, right? Yeah,
you're waiting for the lines to come out and things to change. Anyone betting any significant amount of money.
Yeah.
So how much would it hurt them if FanDuel and DraftKings were available?
Once sports wagering does come here, I think the entire state is going to be surprised at how low the revenue is. When they look at numbers like New York, right, billions of dollars wagered on it, and then they open up California. Oh, here we are, California. I think that they're going to be disappointed. But anyway, all right, next call.
Hey, Mark, Dr. Mike, this is Sundown Brown from San Antonio, Texas. Heading out of town for the weekend, and I always listen to your podcasts on the road trip. Love the show. Been a long-time listener. I was listening to your most recent episode about the poker tournament you guys are in, and the one gentleman that accused a dealer of cheating. I have a story that's kind of funny where I thought people were going to accuse me of cheating. There's no casinos here in Texas. I went to a local poker house here in San Antonio, and literally within 5 hours, I won 4 hands with 4 of-a-kinds. The third and fourth one, I believe it was the same dealer, and the fourth 4-of-a-kind that I had received, I started laughing, and I told the guys, I go, you guys aren't going to believe this, sitting at the table, because a few of the guys had been at the table with me the whole time. I thought they were going to accuse me of cheating, but literally 4 of-a-kinds. I thought it was pretty unique. Anyways, love the show. Keep the episodes coming. Thank you.
Well, congrats.
Yeah. How many 4-of-a-kinds do you think you've gotten in your entire, just from Texas Hold'em? How many times?
Okay, so not like on video poker, but obviously,
just
but
like
just playing
a live Texas Hold'em game that you've been playing in. How many times do you think you've got 4-of-a-kind?
in my life?
Yeah.
I don't know, 30 times. I mean,
Maybe,
something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
This guy gets 4 in a few hours.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, and we played a lot of poker.
yeah. I remember years ago, you weren't with me, but I was at Four Queens playing blackjack.
Right. Okay.
And I got 5 blackjacks in 6 hands.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah,
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Cheating.
And I thought, I thought to myself, what if this had happened to the dealer? What if the dealer had gotten 5 blackjacks in 6 hands?
People would be furious.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
I mean, these things happen, sure,
Right.
not
it's like
very
when
often.
I saw
but
5 12s rolled at a craps table in a row. I mean, after the 4th one, you're thinking, what?
Yeah, there are only
Fifth
6s on the dice?
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen?
Yeah. All right, let's hear from Jason.
Hey, gentlemen, Jason from Michigan. Just wanted to reach out and address 2 things. First, a gentleman called in the last show and was trying to figure out a way to get free drinks playing bubble craps. And one year on our way to Vegas, many years ago, I looked at my wife and I said, when we go to Vegas, we both sit down at the bar. We both put $20 in the slot to get a free drink. Why don't we just take one $20 bill and buy multiple drinks and not worry about the free drink when we're not playing? I don't know why that was such a hard thing for us to grasp, but we went out there for years and years putting money in slots to get free drinks when we could have just bought our drink at a fair rate and been way ahead of the game if we weren't trying to play and just trying to get a free drink. So for whatever that's worth, some people don't realize that. Just pay for your drink. And then secondly, I wanted to ask, this year we're going out and we are getting a comp from our casino host, which I've never had a host till this year, 3 free nights at the Rush Tower in Vegas. And I want to know what, in your opinion, what is their expected play? Is there a dollar amount, a daily average? What are they looking at? Because I don't want to lose this privilege of having somebody to call direct to book my room for me. And I want to keep that going years to come. So just looking for a little feedback there. Appreciate your show and all you guys do. Have a great day.
Yeah, thanks. So, yeah, the advice on drinks, the general advice really is don't play to get comps. If you're going to gamble anyway, take advantage of the comps that you're going to get. And if you find that, you're spending $20, $30, $40 for, a 7 and 7.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. It's just like when you go to Rincon and they have a thing and you got to get 150 points to get your gift card.
Mm-hmm, right.
And, if you're playing at a slot machine, you get 150 points, you're going to put in $300-$400 to get your $20 gift card to Target?
Right, exactly.
Why not just take a $20 bill to Target and buy something? And then you have something and you didn't lose $400.
It's true. And the gift card amounts that I get, I fall into that category.
Right,
it makes more sense for me to just not even
worry about it. Right.
Yeah. Then
if you were going anyway and you said, I'm going to play, that's another thing. But if you're going just because they're offering a gift card today, and people do, because look at the casino, they offer a gift card. It's way more people in there than a normal like Thursday, or something.
True.
Spending $400 to get a set of coasters that have the casino name on it is not wise.
Yeah, right. So, Jason, as far as, keeping your host, well, what level of play got you to this point? Right? I would assume that if you continued at that same level,
you would be fine.
You'd do that. Remember to concentrate your play, so that your ADT is not affected in a bad way. In other words, make sure that on that last day, you don't just put $20 in the machine and put your card in and that's it, right?
Right.
Concentrate your play. You could actually ask your host. I mean, that is something that
I've heard plenty of people do that. Yeah. What do I need to
what
blah,
kind
blah,
of
blah.
explain, you know,
And they'll tell you, we need you to earn so many points or something.
Right. And of course, it's going to depend on the casino and your host and,
right.
you know,
I mean, the answer you get back might be buy me $150 7 and 7.
Right. Yeah.
And use bar 7-Up.
Yeah.
I don't want
7-Up from the gun.
From the gun,
That might be, Safeway brand lemon lime. So feel free to ask your host and, again, play, the way that you have been playing. Now, I would say this. Be careful because, the advice that you gave about drinks also applies to, hanging on to a host, right? So
exactly.
Don't play just to get the comp rooms and get the host. Take advantage of those based on how you're going to play anyway.
Well, when we were younger and just maybe a little less bright, it really hasn't changed much over the years.
No, I agree.
But I would always think, I got this free room and they took good care of me. I got to gamble a lot here so I can get it next time.
Right.
And you end up losing a lot of money for your free $100 room.
Right.
Yeah, we've learned now to just not worry about it and just gamble anyway.
Yeah, that's what we've learned.
That's it.
All right. Next call.
Hey, this is Luke. I was recently in New Orleans last week, and we get to town during March Madness, so we immediately start signing up for the sports betting apps. I've called in the show before. I'm a big bonus hunter. I've been in Indiana, New Jersey, everywhere, and I've seen that things have changed with these risk-free bets. So it's not a shock to me that they're not truly risk-free any longer. But we had a really bad experience with BetMGM. They are fine printing us a little bit and trying to refuse our risk-free bet. We bet $500 on our first bet. We followed all the rules, but my friend had signed up under a player referral bonus, which is a $50 bonus. There was no warning. We can't even find it in the fine print. I'm sure that it does exist somewhere, but it's really hard to find if you can find it. But it was just really nitpicky, and I've never experienced this with any of the betting apps since the legalization and started to spread. At the same time, we've loaded up in Caesars. Caesars couldn't have been better. Caesars is not really known for being the sharpest book in the world, but I tell you, they showered us with free bets. We confirmed that there was no problem with the player referral bonus or anything like that. We did the same thing on all these apps. Only BetMGM was the real problem. It bothers me that they are still calling these things risk-free because it's not truly risk-free like it was last year when they first legalized, and they would refund you your money. If you lost that first bet, you got your account credited and you could immediately withdraw it. I withdrew several $1,000s in New Jersey last year. I knew that had changed, but they are no longer truly risk-free. What they do is they give you the two bets back. So if it's $1,000 risk-free, which they have plastered on every billboard, everywhere you see, every TV commercial about risk-free bets, they give you back, if it's $1,000, they give you back two $500 bets. That's fine enough, but that is not truly risk-free. And then to go above that and then do fine printing you and ticky-tack, it just feels really bad. We're not going to let it go. We're trying, to see what the options are, if the gaming commission in Louisiana, if it even exists. But I just wanted to, little public service announcement that it's a shame because I have been touting how great the legalization has been, but things have changed and you do have to be somewhat careful. At least at BetMGM, if you go to BetMGM, buyer beware.
Okay, well, it's too bad, but do your research, and that could even be just going online and talking to people, right? Seeing what experiences people have. But
Luke is finding out that advertisements aren't always what they seem to be.
That's correct. Yes. All right. Let's switch the tone of this podcast to a little more positive,
a little more
less pessimistic.
Well, okay, here's the positive thing.
All right.
At least he's had a good experience with Caesars.
Yeah, that's kind of a fun story, right? Yeah. What?
Yeah.
A good experience with Caesars? Huh. It's novel.
Well, I mean, in everything in life, right, there's always a catch. There's always some fine-tuning thing. I mean, the first thing a person should learn, maybe at age 6 months, is that, if it sounds too good to be true, it's probably not true.
These bonuses, though, these sign-up bonuses,
Originally,
have been
they were good.
and when new states approved sports wagering, the bonuses might still be there. So take advantage of them. But you're right; they'll fine-tune it to the point where it's not what it used to be. 10 years from now, we're going to be saying, "Oh man, when they first legalized sports wagering, you could make a ton of money on these bonuses."
Well, my favorite story, and it kind of goes to this in a roundabout way, is when you and your sisters, I believe, or mom or somebody went to a casino locally here that was going to give you a free lobster dinner.
Yeah, right.
But then when you got there, you found out that, you get a free lobster dinner, but you got to wait like 4 hours in the casino before you can have it.
And that wasn't a stipulation. It was just there was too big a line. Right.
But I mean, they know that because they're giving away free lobster dinner. So you're going to spend 4 hours in a casino waiting for your free lobster dinner so you can lose $400.
Right, exactly.
I mean, we
left.
Yeah.
We didn't get the lobster dinner.
No, I mean, you were smart to leave because, you obviously would have played.
Oh, yeah.
And if you had, maybe you won and you got a free dinner and you're happy, but maybe you lost. Maybe that lobster dinner cost you $400.
Yeah.
But the ad says just show up, get a card, get a lobster dinner.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which technically they did.
Yeah.
But there's always the catch.
Yeah.
There's always a catch.
Yeah. Well, that's how they get you.
Yep.
All right. Let's hear from our buddy Robin Aubin.
Hello, Dr. Mike and Mark. This is Robin from Connecticut. I just wanted to give you a quick little trip report, and I have a question for you. Vito and I and a few others tried to make some money at Foxwoods. He was staying over for St. Patrick's Day. And, it didn't get started very well. We tried to play some Pai-Gow. The Pai-Gow minimums were $50, so we stayed away from that. We tried a $10 craps table, and that did not go very well. And then I watched Vito play roulette, which did not go very well. And we kind of went our own separate ways. I did hit 4 aces and a kicker on the super double-double, so that was $1,000, so that was great. But my question is this. I do like to play craps, but I haven't played in 3 years, really. Using the don't, like playing a quarter on the don't pass, is that another way of getting around the higher limit table? Like, would that work better on a $15 or $25 table if that's all that's there? Okay, that's my question. By the way, I won't be seeing you guys in Biloxi. My bankroll is just a little thin right now, so we'll see you some other time. Take care, Dr. Mike. I hope you're getting better, and we'll catch you later. Bye.
Thanks, Robin.
Yeah, that actually is not a bad idea. If you are, say, a red chip player and it's a $25 table, maybe you just put $25 on the don't pass.
Right.
Maybe make 1 don't come bet or 2 don't come bets if you're comfortable with that. Don't take any odds.
Right.
And that is not a bad way to go if you enjoy playing that way. That's the other thing, right? You want to enjoy your gambling. I would have no problem doing that. Sometimes I'm on the don't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sure. That's actually good advice. And if you're a $15 table, just make it 15. Yeah, it's not bad.
I think the crux of that is don't take odds.
Oh, right.
Don't lay odds.
Yeah, right. Because your bankroll really can't handle that. That's the thing, too, is it's not just that when you lay odds, you get less than what you bet.
Right.
It's just that now suddenly you've got so much money out there.
Right, a few repeaters. And you've lost
so, just, no odds. And then as the session goes on, maybe you switch over to the pass line or, if you win, whatever you want to do. But, I don't think it's a bad idea, again, if you like playing that way.
Yeah, well, what's the difference in if you're playing the don't versus just putting a come bet and
same thing.
Just
you could do
don't take odds, just $25 come bet on everything.
You could do that too. I mean, that's fine. Just $25 pass line.
Yeah, if it's a good roll, you're going to win. A bad roll, you're going to lose. Yeah. Same thing in the just the opposite for the don't, right?
Right. Yeah, and it depends too. Again, not just if you enjoy playing that way, but keep in mind, not everybody at the table likes don't players. Not all the dealers like don't players. It's not fair. But it's a reality, so just keep
everyone
that in mind
should
as
like
well.
every player.
Yeah.
I tease some people that we know who play the don't.
Yeah.
But it's just in jest. I could care less if they really.
Yeah. And, I was playing the don't when I went to the casino last night. And, of course, every time I won, inside I'm jumping up and down. But, outside I'm just stone-faced. So.
It's nice to know. I'm going to start yelling that from behind you. He's jumping up and down on the inside.
Please
7
do.
Came up.
Please do, because they'll be mad at you.
for mentioning that.
For bringing it up. Yeah. All right, last call. We haven't heard from this gentleman in a while. Let's hear from Wendell.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Wendell from Texas, friends from 10 Down and Beyond. Just want to let you know I'm still listening. I think I haven't called in like a year or so, but I'm listening to every episode, man. So keep up the good work. And I was just laughing to myself last night. I actually went to Choctaw in Oklahoma casino for a little bit, and I was listening to your episode on the way, which was making fun of hitting $1,200. You know, that's like the tax thing. And I was like, yeah, that sure needs to go up. Like, I agree with that. And of course, last night I hit $1,200, so I was like, I was kind of laughing about that. So anyway, man, keep up the good work, and hopefully we'll meet up soon. Bye.
Thanks. We haven't seen you in a long time either.
Yeah, I know. Fingers crossed, though, for, again, this legislation that we talked about last time, you know, raising the W-2G limit from 1,200 to 5,000. So, yeah, hopefully that. I have high hopes for that, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that's something.
I think it'll work. I'm hoping that when I'm elected president, when this country comes to its census and elects me as president, there's going to be no taxes on gambling winnings.
Okay. And are you
Zero.
Also going to be the commissioner of baseball during that time when you're president and also NFL?
Oh, you can have multiple jobs. I can multitask.
Yeah. All right. Got a big future in front of you there, Dr. Mike. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We want to thank some people for some recurring donations from Brian Dancer, from Brian and Sarah, from Josh, and from David. Thank you very much for those recurring donations. We also got a donation from Scott. For Mark and Dr. Mike, hoping to end my 8-year royal drought, have some luck at the craps table, and enjoy Sweet 16 Elite 8 basketball with 2 friends on a rescheduled 2020 Las Vegas March Madness trip. Thanks for all you guys do. My bracket is already busted. Well, hopefully you're having a good time. Yeah, after the second day, everybody's bracket was busted. Also, a donation from Brett. Another guy's trip this weekend, taking a first-timer to Vegas, hoping for some beginner's luck. Thank you. Well, good luck, Brett.
Yep.
Also, you know, for these donations, if you would like us to mention your last name, let us know. We deliberately don't list people's last names just because some people don't want their last names on a gambling show, so we understand that. But if you'd like us to mention your whole name, please let us know.
You'll mention it and somebody will get fired from their job. Somebody's mom. Yeah, I heard you mention on a gambling show.
Hey, be sure to check out our TV listings showing all the gambling-related shows coming up within the next 2 weeks at youcanbetonthat.com/TV-listings. And our list of gambling-related movies at youcanbetonthat.com/movies. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
Or you can email us at youcanbetonthat@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at youcanbetonthat and on Facebook at facebook.com/youcanbetonthat. Finally, please go to your favorite podcast app and write a review of the show. We love getting your feedback. All right, for those going to Biloxi, I will see you in just a few days. Meanwhile, Dr. Mike, what do you got for us?
Oh, I was just going to mention when Scott, who made the donation, was saying that he had an 8-year royal drought. That's like nothing.
Yeah, 8 years.
8 years.
How old are you, Dr. Mike?
Yeah. How about a 62-year royal drought? It's funny, though, because since I'm not working right now, my wife took me to the casino midweek to get my free play, which I'm still getting, even though that's probably going to go away at some point. Yeah. But she took me to get our free play. So $170, we played video poker. It went pretty good, actually. Mm-hmm. But during the course of that, she was playing and I was just sitting next to her. Uh-huh. She 5 times was dealt 4 cards to the royal.
Over a period of how long? How long were you there?
Oh, God. 10 minutes? 15 minutes?
Okay, yeah.
5 times she got dealt 4 to the royal. Yeah. We hit none of them.
Yeah.
It's probably because I was there.
Sure, of course.
And 4 of the times she needed a king, and once she needed a jack. And twice she got the king, but the wrong suit.
The straight. Oh, that's called the travel fanboy, especially if it's the same color.
Yeah, same color. That's what you call that. Yeah. We needed like clubs and we get a spade, or we need a spade, we get clubs. Yeah. We had travel fanboy. And it was devastating. I mean, just, because every time, the first time you're like, oh, well, that's happened before. The second time you're like, twice? 5 times. And there was some curmudgeony guy sitting at the end of the bank, and he leaned over on one of them and said, oh, you got the wrong suit. Oh, yeah? Really? That's what he said. Oh, you got the wrong suit. Like, watch your own machine.
Well, now you heard Tim Lawson hit his first royal here, right?
Right. Everybody does eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, except for us.
Yeah. Especially
62 years, no royal.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Good night.
Oh, sweet mother, I love you, Dr. Mike.